So what is MQTT? Okay, I mentioned before, it is specifically designed for IoT, right? It allows device to device, machine to machine communication. But there is a catch, later I'll explain. So it is lightweight. So because it's being lightweight, the data packet that you're sending is small. It supports high frequency. And because it's small, it's not going to cause a lot of bandwidth occupancy within the network, right? This can reduce traffic. Okay, because it's lightweight, it can be implemented in constrained device. What are constrained device? Like our MKR, very small microcontroller that's not very powerful, but yet is able to support some of these applications. So important characteristics of MQTT, I'll read through this very quickly because I think you can refer to yourself. Client do not have address, so now we don't need to know who is who. Why? Later I'll tell you. Okay, in fact, he's here. So instead, what is required of the sender? The sender need to know where is the broker. The sender need to know a topic. All right. These are some new terms that is brought along with this MQTT concept. So MQTT has a broker. What is the job of the broker? The broker is like our post office. The post office receive data, receive letters. The post office is responsible for distribution of these letters. And MQTT broker has similar job like our post office. It is to bring or collect data coming in based on topics and then subsequently distribute them to the subscriber. Right? So subscriber, you can imagine subscriber like, okay, later I'll explain this one. Subscriber are devices that needing this data. Later I have a picture to explain how they work hand in hand. So a client will be able to receive this information only when they subscribe, right? Only when they subscribe on the same broker, on the same topic. Okay, there's no direct connection between publisher and subscriber. All client can publish and subscribe. So now take note, all the devices are considered as client, right? Where is the server? The server is in fact the broker. Okay, usually broker don't store information. They are just like our post office. They don't open your letter to look at what are the contents. They are merely helping to distribute. All right, they are helping to distribute. Okay, there's a lot of text here. I will just let me skim through. So here, some of the words that's highlighted. MQTT is more message centric, right? Message centric, which means the small packet of information, versus HTTP more on document. Document refers to larger data size. HTTP is request response, so you need to request first before you get data. But MQTT is asynchronous because there's a broker. The broker will help push the data out and it's lightweight. All right. For comparison between HTTP and MQTT, I leave it to you to read on your own. All right. I'm not saying that these are not important. They are important, but I would like you to digest yourself because I think these are quite easy read. You can know what is going on. Plus, there are examples for you. What I want to quickly scan through to share with you that in MQTT, when we talk about the speed of data transfer, there has been a test conducted showing that MQTT is 93 times faster than using HTTP. And why this is so? Because it's lightweight. And why ThinkSpeed is not restricting MQTT? Because it's lightweight. And ThinkSpeed doesn't believe that MQTT will cause a traffic jam. Right? Therefore, there's no 15-second delay. In terms of quality of service, this is more about how your data is being transferred. We have 3 types of service: QoS 0, 1, and 2. Right? They have different treatment. Just like when you go to post office, you have priority letter. You can pay more. You can even insert on your postage. And this is somewhat similar to that treatment in terms of MQTT. So if you just want to have the very simple transfer or service, that would be QoS 0. All right, QoS 0 refers to sending of your message at most once. Right? What does it mean? It will only try its best to send one time out. If it's not received, then it's gone. All right, so this is the minimum effort. But if it's sent at least once, okay, this means that your message will be delivered, but it may be the case where there may be duplication. All right, so it will try to send out to make sure that your receiving side will receive. But why it will send more than once is because if the receiving end doesn't acknowledge immediately, with QoS1, you will try to send again, thereby duplicating of your messages. All right, this is the second level, which is QoS1. The last level, somewhat like TCP, which is QoS2, it guarantees that the message is received once, which means it's a very, very, I won't say hard constraint, but it is a constraint that the broker is trying to make sure that when it try to send, it only send one time, and that one time the client must receive. All right, so this is quite restrictive, and it requires a lot of checking and so on. All right, so these are the three levels. If you ask me which is the most critical one, critical as in most resource intense, will be the last one, right? Which is the most sloppy here, the first one. All right, why? Because it just try to send. If the message gets through, gets through. If it doesn't get through, it don't care, or it doesn't care. All right, so this is the lowest level versus the highest level. Hey, I'll skip this because I already explained the different QoS. Now I want to share with you exactly how it is like in an MQTT structure. So in an MQTT structure, there is a broker, right? This broker is like our post office. This could be residing at a remote site. It could be in the cloud. So this broker is the one doing all the job, just like our postman. So what it means is that when there is information to be published, so for example, here, this is the sensor, all right? Client T is the sensor. The sensor has information about pressure, so it will publish, right? So this is the first thing that you need to know. The client will then tell the broker, I have a topic called pressure, I'm going to publish to you, right? So I repeat again, client T is the one with the sensor. It has the data to share with everyone. So it start off with talking to the broker, letting the broker know that there's a topic called pressure, and then subsequently, he will send 120 to the broker. Okay, this is only the step of how sensor data goes to the broker. Now, who are receiving the data? There could be other devices. Here we have client R1, another client R1. Probably I should use R2. So there are other clients wanting the pressure data. So in order to receive this value, then the R1, the two R1 here, will have to tell the broker, okay, I would like to know about the topic called pressure. All right, I would like to know about information about pressure. Then they will subscribe to the broker. So the broker is like our post office, all right, knowing the data that comes in from the client T. Now the broker has to distribute, all right, have to distribute. So my analogy for the subscribe, the publish and subscribe is just like our radio station. So we have, for example, FM 95. They have music, they have information to be broadcast through the radio. And the broker is like our satellite, right? Satellite dish. When the DJ from FM 95 broadcasts, it will just speak into the mic, whatever information will just go out. For client, just like you and me, if we would like to listen or tune into FM 95, then we set our radio to tune to 95 megahertz. When we do that tuning, this is equivalent to subscribing to that channel. All right, so in this case, we are subscribing to the topic pressure so that the broker will know we are interested parties wanting to get updated. And in this case, the broker will do the job, right? What job? When the client send data 120 to the broker, knowing that this is the topic pressure, the broker have a list of subscribers. And what happens when broker receive 120, it will then send to the respective client who are requesting this data. And this is the mechanism of MQTT. So it serves one to many, or in other cases, could be many to many. Okay, so topics, as I share with you, this is like our radio channel, the frequency. If you are subscribing to different topics, you listen to the different thing. Publish, subscribe. This is how the send and receive terminology is put across to the broker, so that the broker will know who are the sender or transmitter and who are the recipients. Message, these are the data that you will be moving around. But of course, the broker does the hard work. The broker will be the one distributing to the respective client. And in this case, the broker will have to duplicate so that it will send to the respective client. All right, so I have tried to describe to you the role of the broker, the role of the transmitter, the role of the recipient. Okay, just to highlight that In this particular case, client T can be the transmitter, all right, because it publishes pressure data. It can also be a recipient, all right? It can also be a recipient as long as the client T register with broker, register the topic that you want to receive, and you will receive the respective data also. All right. So there are some examples here. Hive MQ provides some sample or have a mock-up MQTT broker to be made use of. So there are many free MQTT broker around, just that you have to be careful. Some of them might be using your data as you send over. So make sure while you are testing, do not use confidential data. For example, your credit card numbers, your own personal data, and so on. Do not test those data out in the public. Okay, I'm looking at the time. I'm mindful that it is running short and I have a couple more slides. I don't want to rush my way through all these slides because this is a new concept, all right, on the use of broker, MQTT broker. I thought I would prefer to stop here. And since I don't have enough time to run through the, do I have? Okay, let me see. Give me a second. I want to check back with you. Are you rushing for any classes now? Do you have a class after this?
No, Prof.
Don't have.
Not rushing.
Okay, not rushing. I hope the rest is also not rushing then. Okay, let's see in the group chat. Some students have quiz. Oh dear. Okay, what time is the quiz? Can I check? Anyone can tell me what time is your quiz? If it's soon, then I think I should not carry on. Ernest from MEC. Ernest, can you tell me what time is your quiz? Okay, never mind. I think Ernest being the class rep. Okay, some of you have quiz or makeup quiz, I think reasonable, all right? But since there has been feedback that you all are running along and I have time, like I share with you, this is our second last lecture. Next week will be our last lecture. The following week will be a wrapping up of your grade scope assignment, all right? So expect one more set of lecture notes. But today, I think there's a lot to digest. I don't want to cram everything here. Since there are other activities that some of you are heading along with, I will describe more during the lectorial to share with you how MQTT can be realized. Hopefully with hands-on, you can better appreciate this protocol of how message is being distributed. And through the hands-on with first-hand experience, you can better appreciate the use of a broker, how your MKR is being what role your MKR plays within this MQTT infrastructure.